partner out of wedlock. My colleague seems quite interested in Islam, yet the Muslim seems reluctant to consider even a small aspect of Islam. How can I tackle this situation? Because so far, I do not feel like I'm achieving much.
Just repeat the question. At my workplace, my non-Muslim colleague has a Muslim partner out of wedlock. My colleague seems quite interested in Islam, but the Muslim seems reluctant to consider even a small aspect of Islam. How can I tackle with the situation? Because so far, I do not feel, since I am achieving
that I've achieved anything. Well, what the sister is saying is that she has a friend at work, and the friend has a Muslim partner that they're living together, not married. The partner, the non-Muslim partner, the friend of this sister, she or he is very much interested in Islam, but the Muslim partner is not at all. And she's trying to kind of tackle this issue, but without much success. So she's asking for some advice, some tip.
Ensure the two partners, one is Muslim, one non-Muslim, yes, and trying your level best to do dawah with the non-Muslim.
Yes.
That's fine. As far as doing dawah to non-Muslim is concerned, as it's a similar question asked by several people, it's continuing, that when we do dawah to a non-Muslim, the best is to try and understand what the non-Muslim is interested in. If the non-Muslim is interested in science, talk about science. If they're interested in anything dealing with character, deal with character. If the non-Muslim is interested in talking about history, talk about history.
Dr. Zakir, I think the obstacle or the problem is the Muslim partner, is not the non-Muslim. The non-Muslim partner wants to learn about Islam, or he or she is interested on Islam. But it's the Muslim who is becoming the obstacle. He or she is not wanting to know anything about Islam at all. Now, how can this friend tackle this issue? The Muslim is the obstacle.
Since the Muslim is not interested in speaking about Islam, and the non-Muslim is more interested, how can she do the job? It is both. You have to do Islah, at the same time do dawah. Islam is speaking about Islam to a Muslim who's just a namesake Muslim. So what we have to do is that we have to speak about Islam to the Muslims also. That's what's important, because some people are just namesake Muslims. So you have to talk about Islam to that namesake Muslims, that what is right and what is wrong. At the same time, you have to speak with the non-Muslims who's interested in Islam. So what we have to do is that if suppose certain person is just a namesake Muslims, then we have to talk about Islam. And the reason is that some of the people are just namesake Muslims. We have to talk about Islam, talk about science. For example, there's a talk I've given on Quran and modern science. And if we talk about Quran and modern science as compared, what is comparable or not comparable, it helps us in conveying the message. Similarly, on the other hand, the Muslim likes Islam, but the Muslim who's a namesake Muslim, he is not too much in favor. So we have to see to it and try and convince them. Convince the Muslim who's a namesake Muslim that dawah is compulsory. And at the same time, convey the non-Muslims and tell the non-Muslims about Islam. What happens that many a times, because these namesake Muslims, they don't know about Islam, they are an obstacle. So we have to do Islah with them. Islah with them and try and, because they're namesake Muslims, so we have to give them books. And if you see my video cassette, Women's Rights in Islam is there, Quran and Modern Science is there, whether the Universal Brotherhood is there, and several other cassettes are there. You have to convince them that Islam is the best way of life, so that you can convey them about the Islamic aspect, as well as with the non-Muslims, to convey them that Islam is the best way of life.
Jazakallahu khairan. Before I take a question from the brother here, I think I'll take one written question from the brother's side. Brother Muhammad Yusuf asks that, have we any active preaching body to count Qadiani satellite? We have a problem here in the UK. where we have the Qadiani sect who use a satellite channel to carry out the preaching.
The question posed is that the Qadianis have a satellite channel, and I'm aware of that, that the Qadianis, that they have a channel known as the MTV, the Muslim TV, and it is there since several years. It's a shame that there is not a single Muslim channel which is based only on Islam. It's a shame. Just a few years back, they started with the Iqra TV, which is mainly in Arabic, but there is not a single satellite channel talking about Islam as a full-time channel. Yes, there are some channels like ARY Digital, which speaks a couple of hours, you find every year talking every day, a couple of hours, but there is not a single channel talking about the Dawah of Islam as a full-time channel. And these Qadianis, though if you analyze the Qadianis, they have a channel which is a full-time channel, which is, though it's deviant away from Islam, they try and they have a satellite channel which is called as MTV, Muslims TV or Qadiani. So what we have to do, we have to have our own satellite channels that is talking about the correct aspects of Islam. And recently, when I've heard that there is a channel which has started which is settled in South Africa. Though they have satellite channel in South Africa as well as in Saudi Arabia, and there's a channel which is based only on full time on Islam, and it is started by based in, it has got a channel USA as well as in South Africa, and it's a satellite channel. I forgot the name. The name, it is Al-Majid satellite channel, which has started, alhamdulillah. It is only a satellite channel mainly in English, mainly English. So alhamdulillah, they had first in Arabic, now they have started in English. What we have to do, that we have to have several satellite channels. Alhamdulillah, Islamic Research Foundation have got programs which are shown every day, alhamdulillah. The Islamic satellite channels, the IRF channels, every day we are shown half an hour to no less than 3 different satellite channels. And we are mainly, basically, we are covering all the countries in Europe, all the countries in Africa, as well as in Asia. We have shown on various satellite channels. For example, it's in ARY Digital. ARY Digital is there. It's also there in, it's shown on ETC. ETC is there. It's a channel, mainly a channel of the music satellite. It's a music satellite channel of the Hindus, but because we are showing on free, alhamdulillah, it's covered every day, as well as showing on various satellite channels. What we have to do is that we have to convey the right message of Islam and try and see to it that these channels of the Qadianis, we should be able to reply that what they show wrong things about Islam. And then only can we be able to convey the right message. Hope that answers the question.
Jazakallah khairan. If we, I'm afraid that we're coming to the end of the session. I'll take one question from the brothers and one question from the sisters as the last activity for tonight. The brother, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
My name is Uzair Akhtar. Since I started reading and studying, I always find that Muslims are brushing their issues with other countries. Like today, Dr. Zakir said that it is British government's conspiracy that they divided India. I will give one example. 26th January, 2-3 years before, in Gujarat, same place, there was earthquake. All countries supported India. When Muslims went there to get some money to some grain, Hindus told them, tell Jai Ram, then you will get. They told, no, we are not getting from you, we are going back. When our Muslim brother will come, they will help you. Next time, when after 1 week, 1 month, Muslim went there, they went with all different banners. Jamaat Ahl Hadith sing another banner, Jamaat Islami another banner, Hanafi Jamaat another banner, Tablighi Jamaat a different banner. This is also conspiracy of